You know what? I will say this. I will say this. We're still in first place. What is up, fans? Overreaction Monday. Normally, these are deeper dives. I did one Overreaction Monday, I think, after the Bills loss. And I'm doing another one. We're going into our bye, kind of the midpoint of the season. So I got a lot of mid-season stuff. But Overreaction Monday, because some people, and I've been watching, and I've been listening, and I've been reading, some people are losing their marbles over this loss to the Chiefs. Now, don't get me wrong. I am still a little upset about the loss to the Chiefs. And I will show you specifically what is still bothering me. Because I'm going to show you something in this video. And it's not even a film breakdown sesh. But we got to breathe. 6-3, still in first place. I think we're right now... Let me look it up. As of right now, let me tell you where we're at standing-wise. I know that we're the 4th seed if the playoffs were to start right now. None of the other AFC teams are in the playoffs. AFC East teams are in the playoffs. Kansas City's 1, Baltimore's 2. They're 7-2. Jacksonville's 3. They're 6-2. They had a bye. The Dolphins are 6-3. They're 4th seed. And then you have Steelers, Bengals, and Browns. All 4 of the AFC North would make the playoffs if the season ended right now. That is ridiculous. That's pretty ridiculous if you ask me. League-wise, the Dolphins are sitting at number 6. They're above the San Francisco 49ers who had a bye. So Dolphins sitting at number 6 right now. That's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So a lot of people are like, we're gonna lose. But there's a lot I got to talk about. I'm going to kind of delve into the second half of the season, but I'm going to do like their own videos on that. But there's some things I want to talk about. But like I usually do, sorry, I'm looking down, picking up my hand. I got like this big old working in the yard, whatever. We're going to look at stats, and then I'm going to go into a bunch of spiels, a bunch of stuff here and there. So Tua Tagovailoa, after yesterday's loss, is 2,609 yards on the season. That is number 1. 69.5 completion percentage. That is number 4. 19 passing touchdowns. That is number 1 in the NFL. He has 7 interceptions, which is tied for number 3 for the most, third most in the NFL. He has 106.4 passer rating. That is number 1 in the NFL. And I threw this in there because I thought this was incredibly interesting. He has 130 first downs. 130. That is number 1 in the NFL. I think the next closest quarterback has like 115 or something. Like, he gets us first downs with his arm a lot. Then you have the run game. Raheem Mostert, 605 rushing yards. That is number 4 in the NFL, and 11 touchdowns. That is number 1. And that's not all-purpose touchdowns. That is just rushing touchdowns, number 1. And then, of course, I'm going to say something about Devon Achane. He'll be back against the Raiders. 460 yards, still top 15 in the NFL. He's 15th. 5 touchdowns, is tied for 5th in the NFL. And Tyreek Hill, 1,076 receiving yards. That is number 1 in the NFL. I will say A.J. Brown's catching up, and 8 touchdowns is number 1. But I want to say something, because this is the thing that is still bothering me about that Chiefs game. Oh, you see that? You see that? The point of the field where the forward momentum of a player who's in possession of the football is stopped by a defender or by going out of bounds. A player is awarded the most forward spot the runner reached when the ball is declared dead, even if he is pushed backwards. I'll read the top part one more time. The point on the field where the forward momentum of a player who is in possession of the football is stopped by a defender. The point in the field where the forward momentum of the player is stopped by the defender. Please tell me, where's the forward momentum? and then he fumbles. Forward momentum. When does it stop? Catches it, hits, then he fumbles. Explain to me how this isn't a tackle for a loss when his forward momentum was stopped. He goes back 3 yards, 2 yards before he fumbles the ball. How is that not a tackle for loss? How do they call that a fumble? And the reason it is still chapping my butt cheeks is because we lost by 7. The defense held the Chiefs to 0 points in the second half, and we scored 14. We held the Chiefs to 14 points. That shouldn't have been a fumble. The game would have went differently. Worst case scenario, we kick a field goal in that situation and possibly won 17-14. That's why it is bothering the crap out of me. I'm better now. Thank you for listening to that. I apologize. I needed to get that off my chest. Obviously, they're not going to go back and fix that. And we still lost. But that's been bothering the crap out of me. Okay. Now, on to a little defensive talk. Like I said, defense played very well last week, yesterday. Actually, last week as well. The defense is starting to click. It feels like somebody was telling people, give it time. It doesn't happen over day. It's still in there. I'm watching the clip in my head now. But Bradley Chubb, 6 sacks, tied for 9th in the NFL. 4 forced fumbles. That is tied. Not even tied. That is tied for number 1 in the NFL. Bradley Chubb slowly coming along. We still have, Jalen Phillips getting some sacks. I think Christian Wilkins has 4.5. AVG has 4. Seiler has 4. They're really starting to, get some pressure and get after the quarterback. You saw it with Patrick Mahomes. He was throwing the ball away. He was getting pressure. He was getting hit. He was crying for flags. This Dolphin defense is starting to wake up, and it's waking up at the right time. And I'm going to get to that, because now I start talking about the rest of the season. Just a scotch, because I got videos planned for that. I got a ton of videos planned for that this week. We're mid-season review and then looking towards the rest of the season and stuff. But I will say this, right? The narrative has been, and this is where the overreaction Monday comes in, right? Are we going to overreact to losing to the Chiefs and going into the bye week 6-3? Is our season over? Are we frauds? Yada, yada, bing, bong, bing. As I watch the Buffalo Bills lose, and they're sitting there at 5-4. You can think what you want, right? Obviously, the Dolphins have not beat a winning team this season. If the Chargers win tonight, I think they have... No, I think they're 4-4 or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Take that however you want, right? I said this to someone on Twitter. Let me pull up the exact tweet, because so many people are getting all in their feelings about the fact that, the Dolphins haven't beaten a winning team, so their 6-3 doesn't mean anything. And I just laugh at that. It's just nonsense. And I tweeted this out. And I want to read it to you guys, because I want you guys to, let this marinate in your noggin for a little bit. On one hand, we're 6-3. And on the other hand, opposing teams make fun of us. Which one are you going to take? Being 6-3, number 1 in the AFC East? Or the media and opposing fan bases making fun of us because we can't beat a winning team? Which one are you going to take? Because I don't care. I'd prefer to be 6-3, losing to the Bills, the Eagles, and the Chiefs, versus being 3-6 and losing to the Chargers, the Patriots, the Broncos, the Panthers, the Giants, and the Patriots again. But we beat winning teams. I'd rather take being 6-3 right now than the other way around. So I did a little research. I did a little deep and diving. I did my thing like I normally do, right? Last year, the Chiefs, who ended up winning the Super Bowl that year, up to their bye was on week 8. Up to their bye, they were 5-2. 5-2. Do you know how many of those 5 teams they beat had a winning record? I'll give you a second. Just let you marinate on that. It's 0. 0. No, I'm sorry. No, yeah, 0. And they lost to one winning team, which was the Buffalo Bills, week 8. Week 8? No, week 7. Sorry. They lost to the Colts, who did not have a winning record. I think they were 0-1 at the time. And they lost to the Bills, who had a winning record, 5-2. Outside of that, they didn't beat one winning team. Am I saying the Dolphins are going to the Super Bowl? Am I saying the Dolphins are the Kansas City Chiefs of 2022? No. But this whole narrative, you can't beat a winning team, as long as you get to the dance, it doesn't matter. Any given Sunday. I'll go even further. I'll go even further because we like to call ourselves, I don't, but the greatest show on surf, I think our name is, because we're number 1 in passing, scoring, rushing, receiving. We're a very good offense, right? Well, that comes off of the greatest show on turf, the 1999 Rams, St. Louis Rams. And I went back. They went 13-3, right? Before the final week of the season, where they lost because they rest their starters, they were 13-2 on the season. Do you know, out of those 13 teams that they played, how many of those teams had a winning record? 13. Do you know how many of those 13 teams had a winning record? None. None of the 13 teams out of their 13-2 before the final week of the season teams had a winning record. The 2 teams that had a winning record that they played out of those 15 games, they lost to, which was I think the Titans, and I don't remember the other team. The Titans they ended up beating in the Super Bowl. So again, this narrative, which isn't false, I'm not saying it's false because obviously it's a fact. We haven't beat a winning team yet. Who cares? Who cares? You know what matters? Is doing what you got to do, beating the teams you're supposed to do, competing against the teams that are equal as you. And to my opinion, they competed with the Kansas City Chiefs. They gave them 21 points. And if not for a botched snap, and I'm not blaming Connor Williams, I'm saying a botched snap, possibly tying the game and going to overtime, they competed with the Kansas City Chiefs. They play the Chiefs again. I'm not saying they lose that game outright. You might. Some pessimistic people might. But I don't think so. We gave them 21 points. And we almost came back and tied it. Twice. I don't know, man. Like I said, forward progress was stopped. I'm just saying. And then the Eagles. 8 minutes left in the game? Down touchdown? Interception? We are competing with these teams. We are in the games with these teams. Besides the Buffalo Bills game where we got blown out and there was no point in the fourth quarter to compete, even though at some point we were down, we are very competitive in both of these games. So, that being said, am I saying we're going to the Super Bowl? Am I saying, we're like the 2002 Kansas City Chiefs or we're exactly like the 1999 Rams? No, the point of that is to kind of tell you guys to take a breather. Relax. It's a long season. We're on our bye week. After the bye week, we're home for the Raiders. We're at the Jets. We're at Washington. After that, we play 5 games. 4 of those games are home. The Miami Dolphins this season so far are 4-0 when they're playing at home. So the last 5 games in the season, 4 of them are at home. We're home for Tennessee. We're home for the Jets. We're home for the Cowboys. Then we head to Baltimore, and we're home for the Bills. Let's say the narrative sticks, right? Let's say we split with the Jets, which I honestly think we will, regardless. I say we split with the Jets, and we lose to the winning teams, which means we win another 4 games. That's 10 wins. That might get you in there. It's not good enough. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here like, hey, it's good enough for you. I'll take that. No, I want to win all of the rest of the 7, 8 games. I want to go 14-3, baby. my whole point in this, and this is the whole overreaction Monday, and I'm doing this, is because the season's not over. The loss to the Chiefs suck, and I think the loss to the Chiefs suck, and it hurts so much is because we were right there. There was the miscommunication between Cedric Wilson Jr. and Tua, where Tua thought it was going to be an out route, and Cedric ran the streak. I'm going to break it down in the film. And there's that miss. And then there was the botched snap. And it ended the game like that. We were on there, 20-something? With a minute left, with the ability to tie the game up. And I think if that bad snap doesn't happen, or if the right route is ran, or the right communication between Cedric and Tua happens, I think we tie it up. I think we go into overtime. And in overtime, the defense was shutting down the Chiefs. I think there's a possibility we would have won this game today. And I think that's why this loss hurts so much. And that's why so many fans are losing it and being very angry. And trust me, I know, because I tend to be the punching bag sometimes, where people come after me. You always apologize for Tua. You never blame Tua. Why are you such a, optimist? We suck, dog. I told you. You're an idiot. Those are all actual comments that I've gotten. I've been called an idiot. I've been told to shut up. What did I do? But I get it, because it was right there. If not for the fumble, if not for the other fumble, if not for all of these plays, could have beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs weren't dominating. They got up 14-0. Our offense couldn't do garbage in the first half, and then we woke up. But it was a little too late, obviously. But I get it. But there's 8 games left. We get the bye. We get to rest. We get our guys back. We're going to get Robert Hunt back. We're going to get Devon Achane back. We're going to retool the offense. The defense is going to continue to evolve and get better and learn. And watch how this team plays in the second half. The biggest narrative they need to shut up is they can't win in December. They got 5 games in December. Washington, Tennessee, Jets, Cowboys, and Ravens. They got 5 games in December. Got to step it up. This is where it's not like we can't prove the narrative wrong. It's not like the Bills, the Eagles, and the Chiefs were the only winning team we were going to face. Hey, if the Jets win tonight, they're a winning team. We face them twice. We'll face the Cowboys, we'll face the Ravens, and we'll face the Bills again. There's 5 opportunities to shut that narrative up. Season's not over. So many people are like, whoa. And they attack me. I didn't do nothing. I'm over here trying to make a video for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope I kind of a little bit. One last time, the forward progress was stopped. The forward progress was completely stopped. Like, just not a fumble. But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow with the film breakdown. I'm also going to start doing power rankings. You guys are probably like, hey, when are you going to announce the tickets? I'm going to put the link for the giveaway in this description. This is your last chance to sign up. And I'm thinking Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to announce the winner of the 2 tickets to the Dolphins-Cowboys game and the yellow parking pass. But on that, like usual, stay classy. F and top.